Welcome back, Reds. Today on Anfield Wire, we've got Mohamed Salah responding to criticism, the latest Liverpool transfer scoop, and a look at the next 5 fixtures. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button and hit the bell so you never miss any Liverpool news. Mohamed Salah answered ex-Liverpool star's criticism and forced him to admit it. Mohamed Salah scored for Liverpool against Wolves in the 4th round of the FA Cup and, in doing so, he responded to some criticism from a former Reds defender. Mohamed Salah has endured perhaps the most disappointing season of his Liverpool career this term, but he has enjoyed a fruitful week in front of goal, scoring in back-to-back games. Registering in successive games is usually nothing to shout about for Salah, but he has only achieved that feat 3 times for the Reds this term. Liverpool fans will hope that this is the start of an improved run of form for the Egyptian, who is still in single figures for goals in 2025-26. The 33-year-old's successive strikes against Wolves will surely give him confidence as the Reds fight to win 2 competitions during the run-in, and also attempt to secure a top 5 finish in the Premier League. On Friday against Wolves, Salah's goal came after former Liverpool defender Stephen Warnock had called for him to do more after a disappointing first half from the forward. Brilliant, again from Liverpool, Warnock said after Salah latched on to Andy Robertson's low cross to double the team's lead. This was very tight. I said Salah had to improve, and he has improved for both goals. He timed his run to perfection. What he does is play in moments and big moments. Salah's strike was originally adjudged to have been offside, but the goal was given after a VAR review after replays showed that Salah was behind the ball when Robertson played his cross into the box. Arne Slot was asked about Salah's recent return to goal-scoring form after the game, and said that he was happy that the legendary attacker was back in his groove. It's always pleasing if we score, but I think it's also important for attackers to score because if they don't score over a long time, they're maybe starting to force it or going to do different things, Slot said. So, the more they score, the less they are going to force it, and that's why it's important for our attackers either to score or be part of the lead-up to a goal. Like I just said, Cody Gakpo twice played a very good role in the first 2 goals we scored. Liverpool will discover its opponent in the quarter-final of the FA Cup when the draw for the last 8 takes place on Monday. Liverpool's next 5 games compared to Man Utd, Chelsea and Aston Villa. Liverpool has booked its place in the quarter-final of the FA Cup thanks to its 3-1 win over Wolves at Molineux on Friday, and the Reds will be targeting FA Cup glory. Liverpool has secured its place in the FA Cup quarter-finals following its victory over Wolves. The Reds recorded a 3-1 triumph at Molineux in their 5th-round clash on Friday to book their spot in the last 8. Andy Robertson broke the deadlock for Liverpool in the second half and set up Mohamed Salah, who extended the visitors' advantage, with the Egyptian strike initially disallowed for offside before being awarded following a VAR review. Curtis Jones subsequently netted a 3rd for Liverpool as the Reds comfortably progressed to the next stage of the FA Cup, just 3 days after their 2-1 Premier League loss against Wolves at Molineux. A lot of ball possession, them creating 1 chance and scoring 1 goal that was similar to 3 days ago, Liverpool boss Arne Slot told BBC Sport on Friday. We created more than we did in the last game, and that is the reason we could win it today. On where the result leaves Liverpool, Slot added, every 3 days I have a different feeling. 3 days ago, my feeling was completely different to now. Good to be in the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. In 3-4 days away, another big game in Istanbul. The victory for Liverpool ensures it will feature in the FA Cup quarter-final draw, scheduled for Monday. Liverpool's quarter-final fixture will take place in early April, the first match after the forthcoming international break. Slot and his team now face a Champions League encounter against Galatasaray before returning to Premier League action, where they will be aiming to clinch a top 4 finish against their rivals. Here, Liverpool.com examines the Reds' upcoming fixture schedule compared to some of their Premier League competitors. Liverpool's next 5 games. Galatasaray, A. Tuesday, March 10th, Champions League. Tottenham, H. Sunday, March 15th, Premier League. Galatasaray, H. Wednesday, March 18th, Champions League. Brighton, A. Saturday, March 21st, Premier League. TBC, 4/5 April, FA Cup quarter-final. Chelsea's next 5 games. PSG, A. Wednesday, March 11th, Champions League. Newcastle, H. Saturday, March 14th, Premier League. Everton, A. Saturday, March 21st, Premier League. TBC, 4/5 April, FA Cup quarter-final. Manchester City, H. Sunday, April 12th, Premier League. Aston Villa's next 5 games. Lille, A. Thursday, March 12th, Europa League. Manchester United, A. Sunday, March 15th, Premier League. Lille, H. Thursday, March 19th, Europa League. West Ham, H. Sunday, March 22nd, Premier League. Nottingham Forest, A. Saturday, April 11th, Premier League. Manchester United's next 5 games. Aston Villa, H. Sunday, March 15th, Premier League. Bournemouth, A. Friday, March 20th, Premier League. Leeds United, H. Saturday, April 11th, Premier League. Chelsea, A. Saturday, April 18th, Premier League. Brentford, H. Monday, April 27th, Premier League. Liverpool transfer news as Reds complete deal to sign young winger. The latest Liverpool transfer news as the Reds reportedly tie up a deal to sign a talented young teenager, while another centre-back signing is said to be on the agenda. Liverpool has reportedly completed a deal to sign an American teenager, who will link up with the Reds academy. It is reported by Anfield Watch that Liverpool has completed a deal to sign former Colorado Rapids youth player Noah Allen, after the 14-year-old impressed during a recent trial spell with the club. Allen is also admired by Manchester City, so if it is true that Liverpool has agreed a deal to sign him, it will be a significant coup. Meanwhile, in a transfer report that concerns the senior team, the Reds have reportedly entered the race to sign Joel Ordóñez from Club Brugge. Chelsea and Paris Saint-Germain are both said to also be interested in Ordóñez, who is valued at £40 million, $54 million, by Brugge. Sportsboom says that Liverpool is intensifying its pursuit of a new central defender following last week's Premier League defeat by Wolves. The Reds have conceded 39 goals in the top flight this season, 2 fewer than they shipped across the entirety of last season. Ordóñez, 21, is among the highest-rated young defenders in world soccer, and his prospective acquisition would follow the recent arrivals of other young centre-backs Giovanni Leone and Jeremy Jacquet. Liverpool signed Leone last summer and agreed a deal to sign Jacquet in January, with the Frenchman due to make the move to Merseyside next summer. The club is in the midst of an overhaul in the centre of defence, amid the uncertainty surrounding the futures of Virgil van Dijk, Joe Gomez and Ibrahima Konate. Konate is set to become a free agent this summer when his contract expires, while Van Dijk, who turns 35 in July, is out of contract next year. Gomez's deal also expires in 2027, and he could be moved on in the summer. Liverpool head coach Arne Slot confirmed earlier this month that Liverpool remains in talks with Konate over a new deal, although there has been no suggestion that a breakthrough in talks is imminent. "We are in talks with him, so that tells you what we want," Slot said. "It's clear we would like him to stay, but negotiations are ongoing, so let's see where that ends. We wouldn't be in negotiations if we didn't want him to stay." Ryan Gravenberch jumped at the opportunity to extend his stay at Liverpool, a club that now holds a special place in his heart. The Dutch midfielder, who arrived from Bayern Munich in September 2023, put pen to paper on a new long-term contract with the Reds today. Gravenberch has enjoyed a life-changing 2.5 years at Anfield, becoming a Premier League winner in 2024-25 and father for the first time. After committing his future, the 23-year-old told LiverpoolFC.com in an exclusive interview how he is hoping to create many more lasting memories. Watch the chat in full in the video below, or read on for the full transcript. Ryan, congratulations on signing a new contract with Liverpool. How do you feel at this moment? I feel really, really good. I was really proud to extend my contract at such a big club. So, I'm really happy that I can stay for many more years. How easy a decision was it for you and your family? Really easy, to be honest. I felt directly the trust from the club, also from the manager. The decision for me was easy to make. My family is also happy here. We are now here almost 3 years, so I know everything already. I'm happy that I'm here. You became a title winner and a dad while you've been here. What does this club mean to you now? A special place in my heart, of course. What you said, I became a dad here, I also won the title with Liverpool. I think there are no better days than that. I'm really happy that I'm here. Does it feel like home now? There's plenty of Dutch people here too? Of course, of course. What you said, there's plenty of Dutch people here. Obviously we have Cody, Gakpo, Jeremy, Frimpong, and Van Dijk, the coaching staff as well. It's easy to communicate with them and it's nice to have them here. How different are you as a player from the one that arrived nearly 3 years ago? Good question. I've learned a lot, of course. When I came here, I had to adapt to everything, a new country, a new club, met new people. And now, what I said, it's like a big family, I know everything. As a player, I think I improved a lot and became a better version of myself as well. I got a lot from Liverpool. You also got a new position while you've been a Liverpool player. How much do you enjoy that role and feel it suits your game? It's really nice to play there. When I first arrived, it was totally different. And then when Arne Slot came, he put me there. Of course it goes with ups and downs, but since then I think we did a really great job. I'm enjoying it. I always said back in the days I didn't like to defend. But now when I take the ball from someone, I really enjoy it and it makes me hungry to do it more. I really like the position. I know there's a long way to go in your career, but could you imagine spending the rest of it in that position, and could you have ever thought that when the boss first told you he was going to use you there? To be honest, when the boss told me first, I couldn't believe it. But after I played a few games, I really enjoyed the position. So I think this is my position now, if it's for the 6 or 8. I'm enjoying playing there and I'm a midfielder, so I'll give my best. Do you still believe there's more to come from you, though? You're still very young. Yeah, of course. I'm still 23 years old, so I can do much better as well. But we will see in the many years to come. I think there will be a better version of myself in the future. I think one area you're keen to improve is your goal-scoring record. You're currently on your joint best in a season at Liverpool, and I know your dad has been encouraging you to shoot more. Is that an area you've been working hard on? Yes. I think last season I didn't score and this season I've already scored 4 goals. Yeah, I listened to my dad more as well. Obviously in the summer we trained together and that was one of the aims I had to improve. This season is going really good. You've lifted 2 trophies in your Liverpool career so far. Seeing what those moments meant to the supporters, has that made you hungry for more? Yes. The Carabao Cup was nice, but then the Premier League in the stadium with the fans, it's a feeling that you cannot describe. In the future, I want to win with Liverpool more silverware. With you committing your future here, the new players showing what they can do and an experienced core, do you think the club is well set up for future success? We have a good group with experienced players and also young players, new players that came in. I think when it all comes together and it clicks, we're going to be a really good team. It's not been the easiest of seasons, but the possibility of lifting silverware remains very much there. Is that motivating yourself and your teammates for the run-in? Of course. What you said, it's not the best season we are having, but we still have the FA Cup that we could win, we're still in the Champions League. So, we will give our best, and I think everyone has this also in their heads. Hopefully we can get some at the end of the season. Now you've signed this deal, what are your hopes in the short and long term? For the short term, end the season as good as possible. And for the long term, win many more trophies with Liverpool. Just finally, a word on the relationship you've established with the supporters, who have a chant for you. What's your message to them? I have a really nice relationship with them. Always when I do something good in the stadium I hear them singing my chant. I'm really grateful for the supporters because without them we would not be where we are now. In the future, we want to give them many more trophies, so hopefully we can get that done. My dream Liverpool transfer was blocked by jealous manager despite pay cut promise. A former Liverpool star desired a return to Merseyside but claimed his return was blocked after a relationship breakdown. Stephen Warnock has claimed that a jealous Gerard Houllier thwarted his return to Liverpool from Aston Villa. The 44-year-old alleges he even proposed to slash his wages in half to facilitate the move, but his appeal was dismissed. Warnock kicked off his career with the Reds and racked up 67 first-team appearances before departing in 2007. Following a stint at Blackburn Rovers, he found himself at Villa Park playing under the legendary former Liverpool manager Houllier, who died in 2020. After a disagreement, the fullback sought a transfer and his childhood club were ready to welcome him back initially on loan. However, his Anfield reunion never came to pass despite his willingness to reduce his salary, and Warnock believes Houllier was responsible. Speaking on In the Mixer, sponsored by Sky Bet, Warnock revealed, "So Gerard Houllier was the manager of Aston Villa and I had a falling out with him. I was basically put on the reserve team squad. Then Gary McAllister came to me, another assistant manager doing the manager's job, to say, Kenny Dalglish has been on the phone. He wants to re-sign you for Liverpool. It was at least on loan to start with a view to a permanent. So I was like, yeah, brilliant. Get it done. And he was like, it's the right thing for you. Go back and enjoy your football. But I think there was an element of Gerard Houllier being jealous of the fact that I could go and play for Liverpool and I could go back there and be happy. It's a bad look. So they turned around at the last minute and put I think £500,000 loan fee on. Liverpool were like, hang about, you've just changed the goalposts. Anyway, the deal fell through and I ended up sitting in the reserves for the rest of the season. Head loss completely. I mean, it got to the point where they had to move me off the reserve team pitch because I was booting balls into the middle of their training sessions. When I was supposed to be going back to Liverpool, I said to them with the loan deal, well, if we can make it work, chop my wages in half. I was like, I'll take less. I don't care. Just let me go back and play. They were like, no, we can't do that. That was Villa saying that. I was like, yeah, you can. You're making half my wages back for doing nothing. Just let me go. And Liverpool are going to cover my wages there. they wouldn't do it. Houllier stepped down as Villa manager at the conclusion of the 2010-11 season after a period of ill health. Warnock was reintegrated by his successor, Alex McLeish, and remained at Villa Park for another season before a loan spell at Bolton and a subsequent permanent move to Leeds. He later played for Derby, Wigan, Burton Albion and Bradford before hanging up his boots in 2018 and transitioning into punditry.